Greetings, African people. It's a new day. Today, I want to talk about some current events, some things that have me thinking, ah. This morning, I saw on the news, I think there's a documentary coming up this weekend about the transgendered community. And they were quoting some statistics of individuals who have committed suicide because they felt that being a member of the transgendered community puts them at such a disadvantage that they felt that the way out of pain and suffering was death. And so this is used as a way to show that it's time for the transgendered community to get the respect that is due to them. And now the narrative is that you are offending somebody, you are violating someone's right even by just calling them names. So, I mean, like, I guess for black people, being called nigger, it was something that was violating our human integrity. And so that had to stop. And so now for the transgendered community, they're saying, when they leave their houses, they feel like they have to put on an armor because of the names that people call them. Now, I'm always in the middle when it comes to equality and rights for individuals in the world. And I always try to put myself in the other person's shoes. So it goes without saying that when it comes to people's sexual orientation, I go back and forth because, on one hand, I don't think I have the right to tell people who they're supposed to be. But at the same time, I sometimes don't like the method in which individuals demand these freedoms. So, as a Black woman, I want the right to compete in a space, have equal opportunity guaranteed. But I can't kill people to get it. Now, when the narrative comes out that's saying individuals are committing suicide because these rights are not given, or people are not respecting these rights, there is a kind of flaw. And I think if I was in the transgendered community, I would be very offended because they're presenting the people in the transgendered community as weaklings. So you're telling me that because my rights are violated or my rights are not respected, that it's going to result in me killing myself? It is the same argument. Oh, the kids in schools are being bullied, therefore they commit suicide. I think these individuals who make these laws really need to stop and think that you're doing more harm to the community that you claim you're trying to protect. Because when you present individuals as, because people usually don't kill themselves unless they have some kind of mental illness. People don't just kill themselves because things are going bad for them. It is not a good narrative. It is not a positive thing. When you become so desperate to ask individuals to respect each other, you start to blunder. So I would say to the individuals who are promoting and trying to confer rights upon the transgendered community is that use another narrative because you're not doing them any good. Don't become so desperate to demand change for this community without thinking about how you're presenting these individuals. Because in the presentation of these individuals, this is why some of these people are getting the backlash they get because of the people who are promoting their cause. Am I saying that they don't have the right to promote the cause of the transgendered community? No, don't twist my words. I am saying that if you want to promote your cause, nobody can stop you. The media is a powerful organism, and it spreads its truth and it spreads its lies. Everybody knows that. I don't know, for some reason, you've got to change your strategy in how you try to either indoctrinate people or you try to inform individuals. because the old way of doing things are not working anymore. Okay? The transgendered, the homosexual, the lesbian and gay and bisexual community are not weak. They don't have to kill themselves to get respect or to have their rights respected. So, talk about the transgendered community. Talk about individuals who decide that they want to change. It's now a law in the United States. They have the right to do whatever they want to do with their body, and there's nothing anybody can do about it. Now, if you're saying that you can't have any thoughts on the matter, then I'm not sure what that is. Because as a Black person, I don't want to silence every white person. They still have a right. A white person can tell me that I don't want to be with a Black person. A white person can even talk about his or her superiority, because that's what I see every day anyway. You shouldn't have to disappear and become a robot because you don't agree with me or you don't like me. Because there are already systems in place that demonstrate that they don't like me. And they don't have to worry that they're going to lose their livelihood. They don't have to worry about they're going to lose their life. That none of that should happen. People have the right to be whomever they want to be. Now, as a female, as a Black woman, I really don't have any issues with men who want to give up their manhood and join my group, because anywhere men go, they bring power with them. And unless the Black men are hiding in our community and are still afraid to come out as gay people, most of the people that are transgendered or gay or lesbian or bisexual are white folks. They're Hispanic, they're Black people within the midst, but the most vocal people in the gay community are white. So I don't know why they're killing themselves. I don't know why they're committing suicide, because it's not that world anymore. And you know it. You know that there's not a sitcom on TV that doesn't have a gay character. There is not a member of parliament. There is not a minister. There is not a person in education. There is not a person in any field that is not visibly gay. So I'm not sure why we're still seeing or hearing the narrative that individuals are so oppressed. Now, we still have prejudice in the world. There will always be prejudice. There was prejudice in the Bible that British gave to African people in there with the idea of Sodom and Gomorrah being a bad thing. The thing that they put in the Bible, and then now they come back around trying to blame other people for. The Christian church comes from a catechism, and the Bible comes from that whole, doctrine. So this thing with homophobia started with Europeans. And now that you have changed your system, I welcome it, because it was yours to begin with. And my ancestors were taught to embrace it and to love it. And so if we embrace that, we can also embrace the things that you change. I don't have a problem with a man who changes sexual orientation and change his physical being to become a woman. That means women are going to become stronger, because the male brings the male energy to the female, even if he changes his sexual orientation, even if he changes his gender. Now, men might have a problem with it because they realize that the more men change their gender, the weaker that group becomes. Women have nothing to worry about. Maybe that's why men tend to have more problems with other men becoming women. But I have no problems with it. I have absolutely no problem with a man taking off his penis and joining me in the female group. Well, when he gets over here, he will see what some of us have to deal with. And if he's Black, he'll find out that he's not just oppressed as a Black person, he's going to be oppressed as a Black woman, and he's going to have to deal with oppression because of his sexual orientation. Stop encouraging young people to commit suicide as a way of getting out of people's prejudice or escaping the difference in the way people see the world and see each other. Suicide is a problem. And people usually commit suicide because they have mental health issues, not because they're gay. So stop promoting that idea. You don't have to tell lies to try to support a community. You don't have to make up stories to make it worse than it really is. Because you're saying the majority of the persons who commit suicide, they do so because, is it, are they committing suicide because they're not getting acceptance, or is it because these individuals are not accepting themselves? Because the gay people that I talk to and the transgender community or individual that I might have spoken to here and now or in the past, they've always said we struggle against it because we don't feel comfortable. Whether that's because family doesn't accept them or the society doesn't accept them, but usually there's a conflict in these individuals and they have managed to internalize it, not necessarily because society doesn't embrace them. Because, like one gay woman told me, she says, the fight for you as a black woman is far different from me as a gay woman. And I said, why is that? And she said, because when I come on the street, I can be a straight person. I'm a white woman. I can hide the fact that I'm gay. So if you have ignorant people around me, I can just blend in and go on about my day. But she said, you, as a black woman, cannot change the color of your skin. So when you get outside, you carry it with you. And even though that's the truth, I didn't know how I was supposed to take that argument. I don't know if I was supposed to be offended or if I was supposed to be elated. But she was telling the truth and I listened. I listened. So I would advise men, especially black men who come out every day and they're talking about, fire and what must happen to the gay people or what shouldn't happen to the gay community. You're wasting your time on an issue that you don't have to fight. Because every time you come out and you sing lyrics against the homosexuals or gay community, all you do is uplift them and promote their cause. You're not harming them, you're harming yourselves, because this is a group that has the power to change the course of your life. Am I saying you should be afraid of individuals and you shouldn't be able to express yourself? But you're wasting your time hitting a platform talking about something that was always here, always will be. And the more you talk about it and not talk about ways how to improve your own situation as a black person, as opposed to fighting the battle, or every time you open your mouth and speak up ill of the gay community, all you really do is promote their cause. That's all you do. So you have yourself to thank for the gay rights movement becoming stronger and stronger, because you wouldn't stop calling their names and now they're more powerful than you can even imagine. Find something else to fight about. I don't care if a man takes off his penis and becomes a woman. I don't care. You care because you're a man and it's something that's different. You don't understand it. But the more men join me over here and become a woman, the better it is for me, because with every person that does that, they strengthen my community and the community of women. So if Hispanics and whites choose to become women, why would I care? Why would I have a problem with that? How are their change of sexual orientation or their gender affects me in any negative way? It doesn't. I have so many other things I want, like money. I don't have time to worry what people are doing with themselves. That's their life, that's their body. Whether it's right or wrong, it's not my prerogative. I don't care. I have met individuals who seem to be crossed or stuck at a crossroad as far as their identity. And when they talk to me, I can just listen. I don't understand what they're going through. I don't profess to understand that. And I neither encourage nor discourage. Now I want to talk about the way our leaders in the world, and I'm going to talk about my own country. I'm not concerned about what leaders in the other parts of the world want to do. but places that I come from, like Africa and Jamaica, I'm so disappointed that as time goes on, our leaders don't recognize, either they don't recognize what they're doing or they don't care. And what is worse is that the people are still brainwashed, for lack of a better word, or so asleep that they don't recognize the patterns never really change. So we see the Peter Bunting's wife has a baby and she went to Miami to go give birth to this child. And when I saw that, I thought, wow, these individuals have no respect for where they come from. They talk every so often about colonization and talking about wanting reparation. But the thing about it is, they're not really changed in their mindset, because you have a country where you have nurses, top of the line doctors, if I can put it that way. And every one of these individuals in Jamaica who have money, when they have to get health care, the first place they head to is Miami. Why? That is a disrespect to the Jamaican professionals. It's almost as if you're saying that these guys are not good enough to deliver your babies. The same individuals that you criticize when you want money, talking about reparation, are the same ones you run to when you want, according to your good health care, and you have research to be done, and you think only these guys in these parts are able to teach me anything. So the Jamaican people need to take a look at these simple things. They might seem very simple, but it goes to show that they don't respect you in Jamaica. They don't think anything good comes from Jamaica. And so they're always going outside of Jamaica looking for individuals to take care of them. That just goes to show that Peter Bunting has no regard or respect for the healthcare system in Jamaica. Status is so important to them, but the status or importance is tied to Euro America. It is a shame. Black people, your situation will never change until you start seeing each other as important. You see, the African people around the world, the Hispanic people, the Asian people are the other. They're seen as the other by the more dominant group. But these individuals in these groups, in spite of the fact that they're not seen as good enough, they're not respected by the ruling class, we always run to them to deliver us, to save us, to inspire us, to teach us. And until we understand that we are good enough, that we are the ones that we've been waiting for, our position will never change as a people. Stop wasting your time fighting and arguing over things that are irrelevant. Because if you recognize that there's a creator and that the creator doesn't make any mistakes, when you see a group growing larger and larger in strength, you have to understand that the maker has a plan. And what you consider to be wrong or evil, the creator will use it for his own good. Whatever you believe in, you don't believe that there's a creator, you don't believe that there's anything outside of yourself, you don't believe in the law of relativity, you don't believe in science, whatever it is that you believe or you don't believe, you've got to relax and let nature take its course. Be blessed, everybody. Think on these things.